me go look real quick. You ready?
Yep. We're going to call the meeting for Akron City Council to order. Clerk will read the roll.
Freeman, Fusco, Hoke, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Samples, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky.
For those who voluntarily wish to do so, will you please stand as we are led in prayer by Pastor Lori Porter from Love Akron. She is also the lead pastor of the Church of Akron. Immediately following our prayer, will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilwoman Samples.
Father, we just thank you tonight for this council, and we thank you for our city, for our mayor, for the president of this council, and all of these men and women that lead us. We're reminded that Timothy told us to pray for those in authority that we, the citizens, might live a peaceable life. And so I pray tonight as we gather and consider all of the items that are on the agenda, that we will keep our priorities in perspective, that everything that is done within these chambers on tonight will be done at the highest standard of integrity. I pray that you would bless not just this council, but our city at large. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready?
Yep.
Clerk will read the minutes from our previously held meeting.
Minutes from the February 25th, 2019 meeting. Council convened a regular session at 7 p.m. with President Somerville in the chair. All members were present, except Freeman, later excused. Minutes of the previous regular meeting were approved. Reading of petitions and communications, passage of the consent agenda, report of standing and special committees, passage and referral of new ordinances and resolution, representation from various departments and divisions, public speaking period, no further business on a motion by Fusco. Council adjourned at 7:52 p.m. to reconvene in regular session on March 4th, 2019, or special call.
Any corrections or additions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And one abstention. The ayes have it.
1 second.
Letters, petitions, and communications.
Okay. Come on off there. Okay. Notice of a transfer of a D5 liquor permit to Toehold Holdings 2 LLC, doing business as the Spotted Owl at 600 South Maple Street.
Special attention, Councilwoman Somerville.
Notice of a new D2 liquor permit to El Papas Incorporated, 400 Howe Avenue.
Special attention, Councilman Kilby.
Notice of a new C1 liquor permit to Dollar Plus and More LLC, 1465 Astor Avenue.
Special attention, Councilman Kamer. You have before you the consent agenda. There's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Roll call and final passage. Freeman, Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Samples, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky.
We'll now move into our old business rules. Councilman Keith.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee would like to take time on this item.
Time will be granted. Planning, Councilman Fusco.
Time on items 1, 2, and 3.
Time will be granted on items 1, 2, and 3.
Request of the committee is to file item number 4. It's been withdrawn by the petitioner.
Item number 4 will be filed.
File item number 5.
5 will be filed.
Time on the balance.
Time will be granted. We'll now move into our new legislation. Per the request of Councilwoman Samples, we'll take rules out of order and we will do rules last on our agenda. So we'll now move into budget and finance.
Okay. Item number 2, offered by Freeman, ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a cooperative agreement with the County of Summit for the continued collaboration between the city and the county to share office services at the Joint Copy Center and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman?
The committee has requested this item be placed on the consent agenda.
This item will be placed on the consent agenda.
Item number 3, offered by Fusco, ordinance authorizing conditional use to establish a child daycare business center at 515 Merriman Road and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Fusco?
For an advertised for public hearing.
This item will be referred.
Item number 4, offered by Fusco, ordinance amending and/or supplementing Title 15, Chapter 153 of the Zoning Code, Section 153.280, Retail Business Districts by eliminating motor vehicle sales and Section 153.285 Commercial Districts by adding motor vehicle sales and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Fusco?
For an advertised for public hearing.
This item will be referred.
Item number 5, offered by Fusco, an ordinance declaring certain improvements to real property located at Ascot Urban Redevelopment Area to be a public purpose and exempt from real property taxation, providing the collection of service payments in lieu of taxes, and the deposit of those service payments in the appropriate fund, providing for the payment of a portion of those service payments to the Woodridge Local School District, all pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, sections 5709.41 to 5709.43, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Fusco?
Request the committees for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, thank you, President Somerville. This is in support of a TIF. Council passed in 2015 a development agreement with Main Street Gourmet, also known as Main Street Muffins, ironically enough, located on Muffin Lane. This TIF is in support of a 12,000 square foot facility that cost of about $5 million for this, and hoping over the next several years to add
30, 35 new jobs, hoping for that. So this is in support of that TIF, as well as that development agreement that was passed in 15, located at Escott Urban Renewal Area.
Thank you. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Roll call and final passage. Freeman, Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Sample, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky. Item number 6, it's a resolution declaring it necessary, offered by Keith, Resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain termini of the 2019 Phase 1 residential resurfacing program by resurfacing such streets with asphaltic, concrete, 402 and 404, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Clerk, but it was for the arterial collector resurfacing program. We do have the residential one coming up, number 8, but number 6 is for Phase 1 of the arterial collector resurfacing program.
This is you're talking about number 6? Mm-hmm. All right, let's read it again. This is what I have.
That's what you just read.
Is it? Okay, you don't have to read it again then.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about it. The committee's report is favorable, and we ask for suspension of the rules.
Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
On this particular ordinance and 3 more ordinances, we will be requesting suspension of the rules because right now we will get a favorable price and the ability to get started much earlier if we move along with this. So with that is the reason why we would like suspension of the rules.
Thank you. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Roll call and final passage. Freeman, Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Sample, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky. Okay, item number 7, a resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain termini of the 2019 Phase 1 unimproved street resurfacing program by treating the surface thereof with substances designed to preserve the surface and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Madam President, the committee's report is favorable, and we are asking for suspension of the rules.
Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Thank you.
Any further comment?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we have 1 abstention.
Who abstained?
Freeman.
Okay. Roll call and final passage. Freeman, abstain. Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Sample, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky. Item number 9?
8.
8, I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Item number 8, offered by Keith, a resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain termini of the Phase 1 residential resurfacing program by resurfacing such streets with asphaltic, concrete, 402 and 404, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Once again, President Somerville, the committee would like to, has a favorable report, and we'd like to have suspension of the rules.
Very good. Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended. Any further comment, Councilman Keith?
No, but thank you for asking.
Thank you. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Roll call and final passage. Freeman, Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Sample, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky. Item number 9, offered by Keith. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service or his designee without the formality of publicly advertising for bids to enter into a contract or contracts with S.A. Communal Incorporated for the repair, maintenance of the fire sprinkler system at Canal Park Stadium and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Madam President, the committee would like this to be placed on the consent agenda.
This item will be placed on the consent agenda.
Item number 10, offered by Keith. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service in furtherance of the city's efforts to advance public health and improve services to enter into a contract with Sourcewell without the formality of advertising for bids for the purchase of Toters Incorporated trash and recycle carts and associated repair and replacement parts for the use in the Public Works Bureau and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Madam President, this item the committee would like to see placed on the consent agenda.
This item will be placed on the consent agenda.
Okay, item number 11, offered by Samples. Ordinance authorizing Director of Public Service through the Office of the Purchasing Agent to enter into a contract without the formality of publicly advertising for bids with Rexel for the annual preventative maintenance of 2 service pump variable frequency drives at the Akron water plant, declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Samples?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee would like this item placed on the consent agenda.
This item will be placed on the consent agenda.
Item number 12, offered by Samples. Ordinance authorizing the purchasing agent, after publicly advertising for bids for miscellaneous concrete work, storm sewer improvements, and asphalt work, all to be completed by the water plant and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Samples?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee would also like this item placed on the consent agenda.
This item will be placed on the consent agenda.
Item number 1, offered by Councilwoman Samples, a resolution acknowledging the accomplishments and career of James Ingram, expressing condolences and sympathy to the family of James Ingram on his passing and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Keith?
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to turn it over to the sponsor of this item, but we will be well, I think what I'll do is do for the vote first. The vote is for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
Okay. We have a vote for suspension of the rules with a favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And now, if I may, turn it over to Councilwoman Samples.
Let me take a roll call before you jump up there. Roll call and final passage: Freeman, Fusco, Hope, Kamer, Key, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amovian, Samples, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky. Okay.
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution is an acknowledging the accomplishments and the career of James Ingram, one of Akron's own. James was born in East Akron. His family is here with us today, and he is a graduate of East High School. So if I could ask his family members to stand up at this time. I think this acknowledgement is long overdue. James Ingram was nominated for 14 Grammys and took home 2 of those Grammys. And throughout his decade-long career, he has done Akron proud. He also was nominated for 2 Oscars as well. I do know his family does have a few words they would like to say, but I also want to say that the City of Akron will be paying tribute to James Ingram by designating a portion of the street he grew up on to James Ingram Way. And at this moment, I'll turn it over to James Hardy.
Madam President, members of council, member of Mr. Ingram's family, it's really an honor on behalf of the mayor and the administration to designate his childhood street James Ingram Way. As I said at committee today, and Councilwoman Samples just said as well, in one respect, we're correcting a long overdue piece of our city heritage by designating this street. but we're also commemorating one of the great musical legends that has come out of our community. You don't get Quincy Jones calling you my little brother without being an incredible influence on the music industry. So it gives Mayor Horrigan and all of us over here an incredible amount of pride to reveal to you now the street signs that will forever mark Fuller from here on out. So, Deputy Mayor Summer. Oh, it's up. It's on both sides. There you go.
So at this time, we just want to give an opportunity if there are some of James's family member in the audience who would like to give some remarks at this time.
I just want to say I'm honored and proud to have my brother honored and have Fuller Street honored. Oops, can you make it, William? Back in the day, I think everybody sitting here practically ran up and down Fuller Street, did sleds up and down Fuller Street. What else? Fought up and down Fuller Street, played football up and down Fuller Street. So you're looking at Fuller Street about 50 years ago, if I may say that, because all of us are over 50. But anyhow, I'm very honored. My parents are honored. They're not here. But I'm just here to say thank you, and we just greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is William Ellison. I'm a brother-in-law of James Ingram. We both having married sisters, my wife Frances and James married Debbie. And after traveling all over the world with James, I can truly appreciate what a great guy he was, and I truly appreciate this honor him from the Akron City Council. And I have a short note that I wanted to read from his wife Debbie Ingram and his family and his 6 children. We would like to thank the City of Akron and all those who have planned and organized this tribute. James and I both are from Akron, and we have loved coming home every year for the past 45 years. We have great memories of 420 Fuller Street. It is an honor for the City of Akron to recognize James Ingram's accomplishments by renaming parts of Fuller Street James Ingram Way. With so much appreciation, the family of James Ingram. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karen Ingram. I was married to James's brother, David, or Charles, as some of y'all know. But anyway, I just want to say, I was thinking about James. It's like, I'm not like a fan. I'm family. I used to stay at that house, and James was terrible. He just messed with us so bad. And not only that, we went to the same church. He was in the choir. He make us get in trouble all the time. I just have great memories. And my husband passed away a month before James. I'm sorry. So I'm so proud to be here to represent David because, thank you, because he would have been, oh my God, he would have been so happy. So anyway, they're together now, probably causing trouble somewhere. But I thank God for the family. I love the family. I love them. We all grew up together anyway, so it's not like, you know, it's like my in-laws. They are my sisters and brothers, and I appreciate you all doing this for James. I'm so, so, so proud. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Dee Dee King, and while I'm not a biological sister of the Ingram family, I am James's sister. He treated me just like we were sisters and brothers, and he and my brothers, Harry King and David King. My mom, this picture that's on this shirt, my mom passed in 2007, but she kept this article from 1987, I believe, April 26th of 1987. This was in her things when I was going through them, and that's where I got this picture from. James was here going to East High School for the children there, and I believe he did something at the Civic. So I just want to say real quick to Congresswoman Tara, thank you so much, and your colleagues for what you have done here. You have done something that was so, so very important and so very much deserved. So very much deserved. So we thank you, and God bless you all.
Are there any other council members that would like to make a comment? Any other council members like to make a comment? If not, I would just like to say to the family on today, as we celebrate the life and legacy of James Ingram, I just want to thank all of you for just sharing him with us and sharing his remarkable talent, not just with us here in Akron, but just with the world. So thank you for that. And as we travel down Fuller Street, we will always be reminded of his great legacy here in Akron. So again, thank you so much.
Madam President, I'd like to motion for our council president, for our mayor and council as a whole.
Okay, so we have a motion for mayor and council as a whole as on our resolution. Is there a second? There's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Roll call and final passage. Freeman, Fusco, Hoke, Kamer, Keith, Kilby, Milkovich, Neal, Amobian, Samples, Sims, Somerville, Swirsky.
All right. We've now come to the portion of our meeting that we refer to as our public comment period. And if you wish to speak to council during this time, you may approach the podium. We're going to ask that you please give us your name and your address. You will have 3 minutes to speak to this body. Speakers are reminded that this is an official meeting. So you should keep your remarks respectful and germane to council business. Anyone who breaches decorum may be ruled out of order. Is there anyone here that would like to speak during our public comment period?
Good evening to all. My name is, before my minutes, please, I apologize to the council. It's my first time to come to a council meeting last week.
Would you please first start with your name and address for us?
Stephen Purefoy, 21 Olive Street. Yeah, I apologize for it. It was my first time being in a council meeting. My issue, I presented it. I didn't expect council to address it because the nature of it. This is James Ingram's night tonight. I don't even want to address it tonight. I don't want to address it tonight, but I do want council to recognize it. It's important to recognize it. For the world is just burning right now, and I like this meeting. It's diverse. We need diversity. It's we didn't know the need and excuse me, forgive me, the need for diversity. I was excuse me, forgive me. Nine family. I was raised in 9 in the family. I was industrial explosion. I was life flight to children burn unit, from that time, that point in my life, hasn't changed. It's changed. It hasn't been the same. I'm nervous, a little nervous. All right.
Take your time.
However, I was diagnosed, but before my diagnosis came, I was a single parent. I had to get help for my son, okay? I found out I need help too. At that point, second families, extended families came in. The love, how you say takes a village. Well, the village came in and stood in for me. All right, that's diversity also. However, I don't want to battle, but I'm just nervous. All right, but it's easy to dismiss, demonize. I left a lot out in last week's meeting, a lot out. But you can demonize me and dismiss me. But I assure you, what I said took place. And I don't even hold an officer in contempt. Actually, I think it was a mistake, all right? I really do. But to do that, what they did, they made a false report. It goes to cover up. And then to add other officers, it's conspiracy. All right, now, I don't want to go into all the details, but address it. I don't expect anything, but it needs to be addressed. And we'll talk about some other time.
Thank you so much. Anyone else wishing to speak during our public comment period? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close our public comment period and move into our committee assignments. Rules, Councilman Keith. Budget and Finance, Councilman Freeman. Planning, Councilman Fusco. Public Service, Councilman Keith.
2 o'clock.
Public Utilities, Councilman Samples. Public Safety, Councilman Kamer. Parks and Rec, Councilman Neal. Housing, Councilman Kilby. Health and Social Services, Councilman Amobian. Economic Development, Councilman Sims. Green Committee, Councilman Swirsky.
12:30.
Is there anything else coming before this body? Before we do adjourn, we just want to invite the family and those in the audience. You're more than welcome after the meeting, after we adjourn, to come up and take a picture with the sign. So we have a motion for adjournment. Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, we're adjourned. Oh, Councilman Neal, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just real quick, last week at the end of the meeting, requested that whenever we have requests made during the public comment period, that they be assigned to committees. Reason why I abstained from the minutes, I noticed we had some requests last week, but they're not on here. I'm hoping that we can do that so that we can address the different items. Then I did want to just highlight one thing that was in the article. Nice article in the paper about the city moving forward on some of the back cases in regards to sexual abuse. And the police department's working on that. And it brought to mind something that we may want to encourage a lot of our employees. I know Officer Bertina King was real instrumental in getting that grant, and I know we have a lot of talented employees in other departments. We only have a few grant writers, but we have employees that have all kinds of skill sets to write grants, and it just made me think that we may want to encourage, I don't know if we can reward them in some kind of way outside of compensation, but there's a lot of talented people that can help our city secure other grants in other departments. So that just came to mind in reading that article. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Neal. Meeting adjourned.
This concludes the live broadcast of Akron City Council. Margot Somerville, President of Council, presiding.